When the society is ridden with vices, some great souls have taken birth to guide and save the mankind. History is replete with such examples like Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Prophet Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Lord Mahavir and Gautam Buddha. Before the birth of Gautam Buddha, the society was full of complex religious rituals. It was a period of flesh against flesh, materialism and earthly pleasure, Prakriti and Purusha, being and non-being, the eternal and the transient. Whenever mankind has faced difficulties, a divine soul has taken birth to give a proper direction to the human beings on this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to enlighten you about one such great saint of India, Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was a spiritual teacher in ancient India who founded Buddhism. He is regarded as the supreme Buddha of our age. Buddha means the awakened one or the enlightened one. Gautam is also known as Sakyamuni, sage of the Sakyas. In Hinduism, he is regarded as a god or prophet. Indeed, the story of his life is overlaid with legends. In the ancient time, King Suddhodana was a very popular head of the Shakya clan. He was ruling with Kapilvastu as his capital. He was loved and respected by all for his sense of duty, virtue and honesty.
सावधान! सम्राटों के सम्राट महाराजा सुदर्शन और रानी महामाया पधार रहे हैं। महाराजा सुदर्शन की जय, 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 महाराजा सुदर्शन की जय।
One early morning, Queen Mahamaya woke up with a dream. In the dream, she saw a white elephant plucking a white lotus with his silvery trunk, was striking on her right side and seemed to enter her body. She told about this dream to King Suddhodana. The king invited the royal astrologer. And asked him to interpret the outcome of the queen's dream. The astrologer said,
A child has planted itself in the body of the queen, and it is a male child. O king, you will have a son.
the astrologer further said,
The child will be either a Chakravarti Raja or a Buddha.
One day, the queen expressed her desire to visit her kinsfolk in the city Devadha. She was carried in a palanquin. It was a day of Vaishakhi Purnima in the year 563 BC. While the queen was passing through the Lumini garden, she desired to get down and enjoy the beauty of nature. It was at this place Queen Mahamaya gave birth to a son. The king, after hearing this great news, King Suddhodana, accompanied by the royal ministers, reached at Lumini garden to welcome the newly born child. The king was extremely happy and announced that the birth of the child had fulfilled his desire. He will call him Siddhartha.
Fifth day of the child's birth, sage Asita visited King Suddhodana and wished to see the newly born child. The sage bowed respectfully before the child, for he recognized that the child was the Buddha to be. The sage found 32 infallible marks on the child's body and declared that the child was a Tathagata who would leave the world when he had seen 4 ominous sights. This forecast greatly disturbed the king. Unfortunately, on the 7th day of the child's birth, Queen Mahamaya died. Siddhartha was brought up by his aunt and stepmother Gautami Prajapati. King Suddhodana took every care to keep his son away from the predictions of the royal astrologer. At 19, Siddhartha was married to Yashodhara, daughter of his uncle Suprabuddha. His father instructed the royal ministers to take all precautions to keep Siddhartha away from those 4 ominous sights. But all the efforts of the king proved to be futile at the end. Prince Siddhartha expressed his desire to visit the garden of his kingdom. The prince went there by a royal chariot. The prince was happy to see the beauty of nature. However, after some time, he was surprised to see an old man on the street. He asked the attendant,
"Who is this man? Why is he unable to stand and walk straight? Why is he carrying a stick in his hand?"
The attendant replied,
"Oh prince, that is old age of life, which takes away one's beauty and strength. It makes the senses feeble." happened to be?
The attendant replied.
In the passage of time, old age will come to all.
The prince became sad and returned to the palace. On the second day of his visit to the garden, as the chariot was moving towards the garden, Siddhartha saw a sick man on the street. He was unable to stand straight. He was taking long and deep breath. Siddhartha stopped the chariot and asked the attendant,
Why is this lean and thin man looking so helplessly?
The attendant replied, "O Prince, he is a sick man. Disease is universal. It can happen to anyone, to me and to you."
The prince became disturbed and returned to the palace. On the third day, the prince saw a dead body being carried in a procession. Many people were following the dead body. They were all crying. The prince became anxious to know the truth. He asked the attendant about the scene. The attendant replied,
"O Prince, that man is dead. His soul has left his physical body. All these people are going to depart him forever. All the living beings will die one day. Death is the ultimate truth of life."
The prince felt agitated and returned to the palace. On the fourth occasion, the prince saw a sadhu on the street. He was surprised to see the brightness on his face. The prince said to the attendant,
Who is this person with a divine glow on his face?
The attendant replied,
"O Prince, that man is a saint. He is free from the bondage of the society, from pain, suffering and death. He is in search of joy and peace which is eternal."
The prince returned to the palace, but the four saints were still disturbing his mind. How to conquer old age, disease, and death. Prince Siddhartha informed his father, King Suddhodana, about his decision to leave the worldly life and to lead the life of a saint. The king counseled,
"O Prince, to lead the life of a saint during youth will be a great error. Old age, disease and death have been in existence since the creation of mankind."
The prince remained silent, but he was not convinced. Next day, Siddhartha met Yashodhara. And
came across 4 different scenes, and I am surprised to find every human being is subject to disease, old age and death. Only gods can avoid them. So I want to be a god.
He further said,
Oh princess, now you have got a son. I hope you would not mind if I became a saint.
Yashodhara began sobbing when she knew Siddhartha's decision to become a monk. Finally, the prince called his attendant and asked him to make arrangements for his departure. The full moon was shining in the sky. Siddhartha mounted on the horse along with his attendant and left the royal palace forever in search of the solutions to questions he encountered on the earth in his childhood. Siddhartha travelled a distance of about 30 miles and said to his attendant,
My retirement from the world shall be from here.
He gave up his jewels and ornaments to his attendant and asked him to return Kapilvastu and inform the king about his retirement from the worldly life. He exchanged his royal clothes with a hunter. And started his journey in search of salvation.
Siddhartha spent 6 years at Bodh Gaya and performed the most severe penance and became as thin as a skeleton. During
Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami
During the process, he realized that Samadhi was not the way to enlightenment and gave up the practice of austerities. On the full moon day of Vaishakha in 528 BC, Gautam took his seat under a big peepal tree on the bank of the river Niranjana and continued his meditation for attaining salvation. Gautam faced a lot of obstacles during his meditation, but he remained unmoved in his seat and attained the supreme knowledge, the salvation. A woman came running with her dead child and requested Gautam Buddha,
O Lord of the universe, you have conquered disease and death. Please make my child alive.
Gautam Buddha took the child and told her,
Oh mother, I can only make your dead child alive if you can bring a fistful of rice from a house where nobody has died so far.
The woman left running in search of a fistful of rice. She moved from door to door, but everywhere she came to know the death news of the family members. She became sad and returned empty-handed to Gautam Buddha. She bowed down and requested Gautam Buddha to forgive her.
Oh Lord, please forgive me for my ignorance.
Gautam Buddha said,
Oh mother, death is universal. All of us will die one day.
Gautam Buddha delivered his first sermon on the bank of the river Ganga at Varanasi. The core of his teachings consists of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths are as follows.
The world is full of suffering and sorrow. The cause of suffering is desire. The renunciation of desires will lead to salvation from the world. The path to salvation can be achieved by following the Eightfold Path.
The Eightfold Path is as follows.
Right knowledge means a thorough understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Right attitude means having an unselfish and healthy attitude to life. Right speech means speaking words that are good and true. Right action means neither to harm nor to displease anyone by our deeds. Right effort means one should try to develop good attitudes in life. Right awareness means to introspect about our desires and not given easily to temptations. Right meditation means training one's mind towards intense concentration to solve the problems of life.
The Panchashila reflects the basic teachings of conduct in our day-to-day life. They are as follows.
No killing, respect for life. No stealing, respect for others' property. No misbehavior, respect for our pure nature. No lying, respect for honesty. No intoxicants, respect for a clean mind.
That the universe is guided and governed by a supreme power that does not possess a name or form. Thus, Buddha was against the practice of all kinds of rituals to attain salvation in life. In the words of Henry Wordsworth Longfellow, lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime. Through this initiative, we have tried to spread awareness in the society against all types of social evils like superstitions, hatred, violence, and gender bias. We appeal the citizens of our country to respect all the religions and live on the path shown by Lord Gautam Buddha and other religious leaders of the world.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukbhag bhavet.